Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I just felt like doing a makeup kind of video, but I did not want to stand for like a lot of hours in front of the mirror. So I just made this makeshift setup in my bed. I'm literally in my bed right now. I just want to do my makeup and have like a story time where we're having tea, we're doing our makeup together and we're just talking. I will link everything in the description box below, whatever I'm using. So if you have any questions about the makeup, feel free to ask away. And hopefully you like these kind of videos. Okay, so let's get started. So I actually want to talk about the time when I actually wanted to do the makeup of a Walima bride on the day of her Walima, and this bride had no idea that I was going to do her makeup, and she was actually expecting a professional. I was really willing to do her makeup, but the bride had no heads up. So I'm gonna be prepping my skin while I start the story, and then I'm gonna be jumping into makeup without any heads up. Basically, this story is from around 2016 when my mamu got married, and he actually had a makeup person arranged for the day of Walima. It wasn't like he was not prepared or the family was not prepared with a makeup wali person. Now this makeup wali person had her own tantrums, like the level of tantrums she had, I cannot even explain. So all my aunts wanted to get like their makeup done from her as well. Not just like the bride's makeup for Walima. At the same day, it was the Walima day, my aunt was getting married. So it was her first day of makeup plus the second day of makeup for the Walima bride. Plus there were a lot of my mummies which definitely wanted to get ready by her. And all this parlor wali would at times say yes to that, and at times she would say that her husband doesn't allow her to run a makeup business in the room, in the batak of their house. And she at times had very different stories to tell. Like at times she would say like I went out and specifically bought the special foundation for you guys, so you guys now have to get ready for me. And at times she would say like I will not be allowed to do the makeup on the day off. So it was very confusing with this Palavali, to be very honest. She would at times she would be adamant that she wants to do the makeup, and at times she would be saying like she wants to do the makeup, but her family isn't allowing her to do the makeup. So it was a whole mess with this Palavali. Now, the first day, the bride got ready from her side of the family. She looked good as well. On the second day, when it was the time of that specific Palavali to do the makeup, she kind of refused and said that she would not be able to do the makeup, and her husband is at home and she just wouldn't be able to do the makeup. That was a pretty shitty thing of her to do because she was actually booked to do the makeup of the Walima bride and of my aunt whose barat was that day. So she was being very shitty. And then she said that she will be able to do my aunt's makeup, but she will not be able to do the Walima makeup. Now it's the Walima day. Firstly, there were two things that happened with us. As I said, it was Walima of my mamu, but at the same time, it was Barat of my aunt. A little confusing, but you have to catch up with this thing. Now the thing is, we lived like few blocks away, let's say, and nobody told us that the Barat time has been delayed than what it was supposed to be originally. We get ready, my sister and I, we get full on ready, we do our full makeup, and we go there to the house because the whole setup was at the house. There was no like hall or anything. So we go to the house and no one's ready, no one's even like showered up or anything like that. So just imagine like my sister and I fully glammed going in there thinking everybody would be about ready, and no one even has showered. So imagine how pissed off we were. We were just so angry that we were kind of happy that our mom would come and insult my aunts and my mamus for not informing us of that. Because there's a few people who are fully ready and there's a few people who haven't even showered. That's not fair. Because it's just not fair. We had to wake up early, we had to get ready early. It just wasn't fair. So we threatened them. Okay, mom is coming and she's gonna tell you guys, she's gonna really rip into you guys because you guys deserve that, which to be very honest they did deserve. So anyways, we go there and we understand about another situation, that the Palawali has ditched them and she is now saying like she cannot do the makeup, her husband is home and all that, and she is saying that she can do my aunt's makeup only and no one else is. So everyone else just has to figure something out for themselves. And I was in my heart was kind of getting up that maybe the situation will arise and maybe I will have to be the one to do the makeup. Because I was a teenager, I was a brat at this point, and I was really excited that maybe I will get to do a full bride makeup without having any, real world makeup experience. At this point, I was just doing my own makeup, or my mother's makeup, or my sister's makeup, or like my aunt's makeup. Like, I had no professional makeup, ex- like, not even any professional learning, let alone any experience at all. So while I was just thinking about, like, maybe I will get to do this, I wasn't gonna present the idea myself. So I was just hoping that someone will think about it. Now, I want to tell you that I was very good at makeup. It's not like I didn't have any experience. It doesn't mean that I couldn't do any makeup if presented with the situation. I could very well do the makeup if I had to. I just didn't want to say it myself, because most people on their wedding day are not looking for amateur teenagers to be doing their makeup. They're more likely looking for professionals, which I was not. So I was just hoping that someone will, from my family, will present the idea that maybe Sarish can do her makeup. I had all the equipment. I just needed a go ahead, and I truly wanted to do her makeup. That is the truth. So as all of the drama is unfolding, some people are calling in favors to other parlor walis who might be like able to do a bridal makeup, on the basis of emergency. And my mom actually knew a person, and she actually talks to her and on over the phone. But those are still ideas, and these are all still in the air. While I'm still hoping that someone would present the idea that I can do the makeup. So one of our mamus walks out, and our, both of us, my sister and I, are fully glammed at this point. As I said, like, we were already ready before other people were still in their kachavanyans, and we were completely ready because nobody told us about the time changing thing. One of us, our mamus, comes out and sees my sister's makeup and says, Nazish sir have done really good makeup. They haven't gotten it done from anywhere or any parlor, so they can do it. And I was more than willing to do it. So now everybody kind of gets the idea that maybe Sarish can do it, maybe Sarish can do it. And I was over the moon thinking, like, I'm gonna do a full bridal makeup. Now, this is a woman who just got married a day before, and she is in her sasural, and they are about to present her with the idea that what about our teenage niece does your makeup? And she has no idea. She doesn't know me. She doesn't know that I am good with makeup or what. Nobody knowingly will give themselves in the hands of an amateur teenager makeup artist. Like, so the idea is kind of getting cooked, and everybody's sort of on board that of course she can do the makeup. She knows it very well. She can very well do the bridal makeup. And need I remind you, at this point, still my aunt was still gonna go get ready from the parlor, because the parlor wali agreed to just doing one makeup, and we are all agreeing that the second makeup, which was of the walima bride, is going to be done by me. And we are all of us almost on board, and we are just going to present the idea to the bride. And at this point, I think somebody talks to my mamu and tells him about the idea, and he approaches it because at this point the bride uh, knows my mamu the most out of all of us because she got married to him. We're hoping that she knows him, she understands him. We're just hoping, still hoping at this point. So he goes up there with the idea and he presents the idea, that what if one of my, you know, nieces does your makeup. Now I have no idea that my mom is sort of cooking up this thing, that telling her that she has some experience, she has learned makeup from professionals, and I have no idea. So I go up there talk to her, because my family thinks that I should assure her that I can do her makeup good enough, which I could. I again and again want to say that I could very well do her makeup. It just wasn't like, I just wasn't a parlor wali. I probably would have done it better than her, but still. So I go up there, I present the idea like, okay, mommy, I am willing to do your makeup, while the parlor wali that we had both ditched us and everything. And she asks me like, have you learned makeup like professionally, like from any makeup artist or anything? And I tell her, look, like, no, I haven't. So I didn't want to lie to her, to be very honest, and I think I still stand by that decision of not lying to her. Because what's the point? It's her wedding day, and if I have to lie to her about, that if I have learned the makeup or not, it's just not fair in my opinion, and I still stand by my decision of that. So she doesn't say anything in front of me, like if she wants to continue with me or not, or if she is even thinking about it or not, and she doesn't say anything. She's probably waiting for me to leave to say to my mamu whatever she is thinking. So I leave the room, and she tells him like, no, I want to stick to a professional. Go ahead and arrange a professional for me, please. I'm not going to get ready by her. So my mamu comes out and he says, I told her like you had learned some parlor and some makeup from some real artists, and why didn't you just play along? And I was like, first off, you didn't give me any heads up. And second thing, I didn't want to lie to her, like on her wedding day, because she would have found out later on that I hadn't learned makeup from any professional or anything like that. So what's the point of lying to her just for a day? Uh, like I didn't see the point. So she gives the verdict that she doesn't want to get ready by me. And so she tells my mom to go ahead, arrange a professional. It's my wedding day. And she also, while she's at it, she says, like, your sister, it's her barat, and she's getting ready from a parlor. And for me, you're arranging your niece. Why isn't your sister getting ready from her niece? Which was a very fair point. Like, it was very obvious. But the problem still was that the parlor wali agreed to do only her makeup. It still wasn't on me or anything. But at the same time, she was like, if she is that good of a makeup artist, your freaking niece, then why isn't she doing her bridal makeup? Why is she coming for my, walima makeup? Why? Why? Once again, it's all up in the air. First of all, there's like very bad taste in everybody's mouth. Like, typical sasurals, especially my grandmother was very offended that she said those things. She was like, it's her first day here in Sasural and she's already demanding a parlor. But to be very fair, she was gonna be the bride on her first day only. Like she wasn't gonna be a bride her whole life in this restaurant. So if she doesn't demand a professional makeup artist on her first day, God only knows what other days are going to be like. Like if she's not even getting a professional makeup artist the first day when she's supposed to be still a bride, then what's the rest of her life is going to be like? At that time I was really angry. I was like really pissed off, like, okay, she's demanding a parlor early, she doesn't want to get ready by me, fine, whatever, I don't care. um I Looking back at it, I was being a very big brat. I was not considering her feelings at all. Like I was not seeing it from the perspective of a woman. Like putting Now that I put myself in her shoes, I definitely see her point. Like the information that she was presented with, she had no idea if I was going to be a good makeup artist or not, despite them saying it. The odds were not at all in the favor, showing that their own, daughter was getting ready from parlor. So with everyone judging this woman and this woman still standing her ground, saying like, no, you have to arrange makeup artist for me. It's my wedding day as well. Like I'm still a bride as well. My mamu goes to the parlor wali that my mother knew, taking his bride with him. Now I don't know what things are going on at this point. Could be the negotiations about the money because she was doing an emergency deal. Could be something else. I'm not sure what happened there, but they do not end up getting her makeup done from her, and they end up going to that original parlor wali and talking to her, which they should have done in the first place, I think. But they talk to her and they tell her that we booked the day for you. We don't have any makeup artist for our bride now, and we need it. You committed, and now you're backing off. So do the shit that you committed, okay? So they go back to her, they tell her that thing, and she eventually agrees to doing her makeup. Along with that, I think she agreed to do one of my other mommy's makeup as well. Not sure. One of my aunts, however, did still end up getting dished. Now, as I told you, like all of my mommies, all of my aunts were scheduled to get their makeup done from this person. But if she dished, like she said, she's only going to do one makeup, so everyone was kind of ditched. But in the end, she agreed to do, I think, two more makeups, and I'm not sure eventually how many people got their makeup done from her. But one of my aunts was still ditched, still on the ditched planet, and I still got ended up doing her makeup. Now let's get into the job that she did. Now, as I said in the beginning, if you still followed that, or if you were able to follow that, this was kind of all over the place. As I said, like she at times was saying like she bought a new foundation for them, specifically for their makeup. So if a person tells you that for 5 different skin tones, she had bought a new foundation specifically for their makeup, what does that tell you about what the makeup is going to be like? You make the call, you make the judgment. I cannot. One of my aunts is like, has like really fair color, and one of my mommies was even darker than me, like I would say quite a few skin tones darker than me. And she had bought one foundation for all of these people. One foundation. So when I said that I was ready to do her makeup, it was not going to be the same foundation as me, but it was going to be the foundation that we had bought specifically for her. But when this parlor wali was doing makeups, she used the same foundation for everybody, from the fairest of the maidens to the darkest of the maidens. And all of these people had different skin tones. Even if the two of my aunts who were fair, they had different like undertones to their skin. It did not match even the fairest of the people. It just did not. So that's the story of how I was being so unreasonable one time, thinking that this person should feel that I was doing a favor to them by doing her makeup. Also, my lipstick is not red. It's giving red, but it's very peachy. I don't know why it always gives red in the camera, stupid camera. I did end up getting to do a Valima bride a couple years later when it was my other mamu's wedding. At that time, I was the official makeup artist booked, or I was also like much more experienced at that point, and I was the official makeup artist. So there were no surprises, and ooh, never did my brows. Always forget them. So yeah, I was already quite experienced, and I did a bang up job. I mean, I would have done a bang up job in the first place, in the first wedding as well, but I was just not the official makeup artist for that time, and I was just being unreasonable. But I would have done a much better job, needless to say, because she ended up doing a very bad job. My aunts that I did makeup of were actually looking better than her. So that's just sad because the parlor wali was supposed to do a good job. She did a shitty job. She didn't do her job. It was not the bride's fault at all, or my fault, or anyone else's fault. It's just the parlor wali, um, who was sort of playing with our emotions the whole day. Won't I kind of, things she was doing. And then in the end, she did end up doing a makeup. I knew it from the beginning that she was going to do a shitty job because she was already doing the makeup of my aunts for a while at this point. Like the previous wedding in the family, she was also the official makeup artist, and she did the horrible job at that wedding as well. So I pretty much knew what she was gonna do. So I was kind of like trying to save the bride, you can say, in a way. Whatever the information the bride was presented with, I stand by her decision now. I think she made the right decision with the information that she was presented with. I did ended up telling her afterwards that I would have done a better job than her. So she said to me that you should have told me that, and I was like, I tried, man. I tried. But it just wasn't meant to be. So whatever happened for the best. Of course, I wasn't gonna tell the bride to her face that she was looking horrible. I just said that I would have done a better job, and also I complimented her day one makeup, which actually was good, or at least much better than the second day's makeup, at least. Anyways, this is the finished look. I'm pretty happy about this, just because I was talking about wedding makeup, and I think I actually turned myself into a bride. I love these kind of makeups or eye makeups especially, but I want to create them on other people more. I feel like, because if I was going to a wedding, the chances of me recreating this are pretty low because I always end up going for a subtle eye look rather than like this kind of dramatic look. I love creating them, but at the same time I just don't have the confidence of wearing them. um I don't know why am I like this. Maybe someday I'm gonna gain the confidence of wearing this kind of look. But until then, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening to my rant. So overall, out of the story, what we got was like, we shouldn't judge people with the information that we present them. They are liable to make a decision out of whatever has been presented to them. They don't know. They cannot look into the future or in the past. They can just look into whatever has been presented to them, and we should not be a brat and think like we are entitled to do something when it just may not be the right time for us, and we might actually end up getting that down the line in the future, but this just may not be the right time, and we just have to accept that sometimes. So anyways, thank you so much for listening to my pakwas, and have a very good day. I hope you guys have a very very good evening, night, morning, whatever time it is. And if anyone recreates this look, do tag me. I love this. I love everything about this. I'm gonna list everything in the description, whatever the shit I used on my face. uh so I really hope you guys enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.